Hey bookworms, welcome in. Today's video is going to be a TBR takedown. So I've never done a TBR takedown. That's like a popular video that's going around YouTube right now where people try to read all of the physical books on their TBR, or like shrink their shelf as some people call it. I have over 200 physical books on my TBR that I have not read yet, and that is not including all of my Kindle and Audible books that I've bought that I don't have physical copies of. So I thought it'd be fun to do a TBR takedown. So the first book in this video I've already chosen because my Libby hold was up for it, and that is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. After that, I think I'm going to put all of my physical TBR books on a spinner wheel and let that pick, because I've got like a Word document where I've got it all written down. I also have The Legacy, that is the last book of the Off-Campus series that I haven't read yet, and the series just came out, and I did a whole readathon the other day, and I read The Goal, and I didn't even know that the show was coming out, so maybe I can read this next and then I can watch the show, and then I'll let the spinner wheel pick my third book. We'll see. Okay, so ignore my appearance for this video. I literally just had surgery 5 days ago for my endometriosis, and it's now Sunday and I'm starting this video, so I feel good enough to film and I feel somewhat presentable, so here we go. The first book I was gonna read in this TBR takedown was The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. This has been on my TBR for years. I've been told that All Roads Lead Here is kind of the same like vibes as this book, and I liked that book a lot. So the summary of this book says, Kayla Fletcher wasn't even 2 when her mother took her and fled Alaska, unable to handle the isolation of the extreme rural lifestyle, leaving behind Kayla's father, Ren Fletcher, in the process. Kayla never looked back, and at 26, a busy life in Toronto is all she knows. But when Kayla learns that Ren's days may be numbered, she knows it's time to make the long trip back to the remote frontier town of her birth to attempt to fix her estranged relationship. She braves the roaming wildlife, the odd daylight hours, the exorbitant prices, and even the occasional dear God outhouse, all for the chance to connect with her father, a man who, despite his many faults, she can't help but care for. While she struggles to adjust to this rugged new environment, Jonah, the unkempt, obnoxious Alaskan pilot who helps keep her father's charter plane company operational, can't imagine calling anywhere else home, and he's currently waiting with one hand on the throttle to fly the city girl back to where she belongs, convinced that she's too pampered to handle the wild. Jonah is probably right, but Kayla is determined to prove him wrong. As time passes, she unexpectedly finds herself forming a bond with the burly pilot. As his undercurrent of disapproval dwindles, it's replaced by friendship, or perhaps something deeper. But Kayla is not in Alaska to stay, and Jonah will never leave. It would be foolish of her to kindle a romance, to take the same path her parents tried and failed at years ago. It's a simple truth that turns out to be not so simple after all. It is Sunday evening, and I'm gonna start this and see how far I can get, and then pick it back up tomorrow. It is Monday afternoon. Last night I got to page 177 of Simple Wild. So far I'm really liking it. We've met all the main characters. Her name is Kala, not Kayla, but she went to Alaska. She's meeting her dad, and they're like kind of starting to build a relationship. And then Jonah's a total asshole right now, but you're like kind of thinking maybe he's like a teddy bear under all that, but we haven't really seen that yet, so we'll see. I'm like not quite halfway through. Should finish it in a couple hours, and then we'll probably read The Legacy next. I was out and about running some errands, and I was gonna go to our local coffee shop, and a big ass semi was using the road for a parking spot. So I figured why not go to Scooters, and I think I'm gonna try a Red Bull infusion. I've never had one. Anyone else think it's so cute when they say scoot on around? I think it's adorable. Okay, spoiler alert if you haven't read A Simple Wild, but this girl just shaved off this Yeti guy's whole beard and everything and left him a laundry list of stuff. Like, here's why I did this to you while you were sleeping. And it's so fucking funny. I'm like cackling and giggling. This book is so cute. I'm so close to being done with The Simple Wild, and all I have to say is this was supposed to be a romance book. Why is it trying to make me cry? Why? Why do all the romance books I pick up have to be freaking sad? Feelings are stupid. I don't know why they have to make me feel them. I don't know. It's supposed to be a happy little romance. I'm not happy. Who's happy? Not me. I just finished The Simple Wild and I loved it so much. Oh my god. It didn't make me cry. It definitely had me like choked up a little bit. It skipped over the really sad part. She could have went into so much detail about the really sad part at the end, but she didn't. She spared us. Thank God, because I wouldn't have handled it well. But she kind of glazed over that. I mean, I liked that she wrote it that way. I don't know. It could have been so much more emotional, but then again, did I need it to be? Because I would have lost it. I would have lost it. I loved this book. I cannot believe this has been on my TBR for years, just waiting for me to pick it up. Definitely recommend this book, especially if you love like rugged Alaskan wilderness. We'll just leave it at that. But if you did like All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata, this I think is up your alley. I think next I will read The Legacy because it's the last book in my off-campus series and I have the audio for it and the physical book. I think that's what I'll read next. And then for the third book, we will do The Spinner Wheel. And Izzy's gonna make biscuits. She's the hardest working biscuit maker at the factory, okay? Okay, it is still Monday evening. It's a cloudy evening. It looks like a storm is about to roll in, so that's perfect reading weather. So the second book in this TBR Takedown video will be The Legacy. It's the last book, book 5 in the off-campus series. I know after this there's several Briar U books. I bought all those too, and I bought all these books and didn't even know what they were about years ago, but I'm gonna count this as a win, okay? So technically I'm finishing a series. No clue what this one's about, but the new cartoon cover or whatever has all the couples on it, like all the girls, so I think it's like all of them. So I'm excited to finish this series. I don't know if I love them enough to hold on to them all, but I also don't want to get rid of them, you know? Like, do I want to unhaul them to make room on my shelves? I don't know. Maybe I'll read this and then give it a minute to decide if I want to hold on to them or not. Hi, Sander. Oh my god. I'm on chapter 5. They just mentioned Me, Ryan Wesley and Jamie Canning from Him, Us, and the Epic series. I love that series so much. That just made me happy. Maybe I need to reread that series. It's been a while. I just finished The Legacy and it was actually really good. It was like 4 parts and each followed a couple from the series. So like it started off with Grace and Logan, and then it went to Allie and Dean, and then Sabrina and Tucker, and then Hannah and Garrett. And it was like each one of them had like a milestone happen, so I won't spoil it by telling you what they're about, but it was just a really good ending to the series and I really liked it. And I didn't think I was ever gonna read like the Graham Effect and all that because I'm like, meh, you know, but now I might after that ending. This was really good, and it was also really funny. There was a lot of funny moments in it. And then like throughout the whole thing, there's like a doll that they're sending around through each little part, and apparently it's from, I don't remember him from the other books, this creepy little doll, but It was really funny, but also really sweet, and I liked it a lot. The off-campus series is finally finished, so now I can watch the TV show. And then eventually I'll go on to Briar U. And what is Briar U about? I don't know, but I have all the books, so I gotta read them all. There's a major storm going on, by the way. Here, I'm in like northwest Missouri, and we've gotten nothing the last few days. But my family, who's like 40 minutes west of us, have just been getting crazy amounts of rain, tornadoes, hail, all of it, like flooding, you name it. So tonight it's raining and hailing here, so I feel like we're about to get all that. I am going to go put this back in my library and then get my spinner wheel ready to pick my third book for this video. Sander, can you sit, please? I doctored my incisions, and now I am ready to move on to the next book. If you didn't know, I had surgery 6 days ago, and my incisions are itching like crazy. I had to go put some Benadryl cream on my belly and get that situated. TMI, whatever. I've got my whole TBR written down on a Word document and put in Goodreads on a shelf because I went a little crazy once upon a time. So I took out, like, I only put the first of the series. I took out the rest of them on my little spinner wheel because obviously I'm not going to start in the middle of a series. So I took the extra ones off. So only the first book of the series is in there. And then I took off all of my books by J.R.R. Tolkien because I want to reread The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy before I move on to any of his other books. So I took those off. I'm kind of nervous. Why am I nervous? I don't know. So I got my spinner wheel pulled up. I don't know if you can see this. Please be good. Please be good. Okay. That was not one I thought I would get. Okay. Dirty Curve by Megan Brandy. Okay, so I know I bought this book because I saw a quote somewhere, either TikTok or Instagram, and in my brain I was like, need that immediately, and then bought it and proceeded to not read it, which is how I got several of Megan Brandy's books. So good for her for getting me several times with that. But all of her books are sitting on my shelf still unread, so at one point in time I thought I had to have it, so that's good, but I don't know what it's about. I looked it up on Goodreads just now and it has like a 4.0 average rating, so that's pretty good. Sorry if you hear Sander eating his little treat. I'm gonna go get it and see if it's available on Libby, and if not, probably get it on Audible and tandem read it and start it tonight while I wait for my husband to get home in this nasty storm. Okay, so I'm actually a liar and a fat mouth. I did not buy this book because I saw a quote online. I bought The Deal Dilemma and Say You Swear by Megan Brandy online because I saw quotes and thought I had to have it, okay? The Dirty Curve was part of the Bookworm box. Colleen Hoover and a bunch of other authors put together a Bookworm box many years ago and sold the box. All the books were signed, all of them had special edition covers, and all the money went to charity. And back in like 2020-ish, I was in my coho phase and like just getting into booktube, bookstagram, like just figuring out that this was a thing and other people like to read and like to talk about it online, and you know, it was a crazy time back in 2020. So I was in my coho phase. Sander, stop moving my camera. And so she was putting it out there that she was doing this bookworm box with all these authors, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have it. So I got it, and I got a lot of books. And they're all signed. Sander's moving my tripod, I'm sorry. I'm kind of scared because I've read a couple of books out of that bookworm box. Didn't like any of them so far. So I'm kind of nervous. But I did buy a couple of her books after that because I liked the quotes and stuff. So here's hoping I like this book. I'm gonna be hopeful. Good morning. It is now Tuesday morning. I'm officially 1 week out from a surgery and I'm on my third book of the TBR Takedown video. I talked a little bit about it last night. I read to page 33 last night and then went to bed. So I'm hopefully gonna finish this today and wrap up this video. So far, this book is about this jock who's so full of himself. I hate him. And this girl who's supposed to tutor him, but she, so far we found out, has a sick child. So we'll see how that comes into play. This is supposed to be a romance, but so far I cannot stand the male main character. So my plan for today is to maybe do a little tidying. My library is kind of a mess, so I'm gonna clean that up a little bit and then maybe put away some laundry and just do like some light cleaning just to try to get up and moving, but hopefully not make myself hurt anymore. So I have like a little bit less than 100 pages of the Dirty Curve left. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, this male main character went from being the biggest asshole that I hated to all of a sudden now he's a great guy, but there was like no real character development. It was just like, boom, he's a good guy. And then there was one part where the female main character was like, oh, he's got such a huge ego, but like he earned it, you know, like he earned the right. And I'm like, he's good at baseball. That doesn't mean he gets to be an asshole. I don't know. It's okay. And I feel like there's like a little mystery element that's supposed to be happening over like who this girl's baby daddy is. And it's pretty obvious who it is, you know? And I'm like just bored. I should finish it soon though. And I'll update you on my thoughts then. I just finished Dirty Curve. If I had to rate it right now, it would probably be, I don't know, the first half of it I like was not impressed at all, and then the last half of it I liked. But that's because in the beginning, Tobias, the male main character, was an asshole. And then he just flipped a switch halfway through and was suddenly a great guy, but we didn't really see any character development. It was just all of a sudden he's this great guy. So I liked the second half because he was a good guy. So I liked the end. So I'm thinking about going for a 3-star. I don't know. This book is so difficult because, like I said, there was no character development. It was just, oh, he's an asshole, but he gets to be because he's this big superstar and all this stuff. And he started off as like this cocky, arrogant playboy and was like, I get everything I want and blah, blah, blah. He just flips a switch and is all of a sudden nice to her because he's interested. And then all of a sudden, he's just been this great guy all along. And I don't know, but I did like the end. They tried to throw a little like mystery kind of element in there where like, oh my gosh, who's the baby's father? And then it's like pretty obviously tells you who it is or shows you. And then he's like, oh my God, is it me? And then she's like, no, you idiot. And there's like a whole flashback. Anyways, it was cute at times, but it was an interesting audiobook to listen to while I did things around the house, like cleaning and things. But I was also bored and like wanted it to be over at times. It also was not insta-love at all or insta-smut. It was very much kind of like a slow burn, like it took forever for things to happen. And so in the first half of the book, I was like bored because there was nothing happening. I didn't like him. He was a jerk. There was no smut, no spice, nothing. I'd probably give it like a 3 or a generous 3-star. If you're looking for like a interesting, quick read that takes no thought or brain power to get through, then this is a good book for that. But if you're just like wanting something good to sit down and eyeball read, I don't know if this is it. Dirty Curve by Megan Brandy. I own 2 other books by her and I hope they're better. So that's it for this video. In this video, we read The Simple Wild because my Libby hold was ready. And then we read The Legacy in honor of the new series coming out on Netflix, I think. I finished the series. And then Dirty Curve because the spinner wheel picked it. That's my first TBR Takedown video, and it was pretty fun. I look forward to doing more of these because my TBR is out of control. Like I said, over 200 books. So next time we'll either do more spinner wheel or pick it out of a jar or something like that, but I'll try to do something different every time and make it fun. But thanks for watching today's video. I hope you liked it. I'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, I'm sending good reading vibes and forehead kisses to everybody. Bye.